Hello and welcome to another Pauper video. Today we're playing Blue-White Familiars with a brand new card. That card is Meeting of Minds. This card is Mom from Mom. It's convoke, draw 2 cards for 4 mana. 3 and a blue. Now the reason that this card is considered here over Deep Analysis, and we're just kind of hard swapping it for Deep Analysis, is that, well, I'm going to do this. We're going to play 4 Meeting of Minds, 4 Modern Age, and then the Ephemerate Flicker. This is the shell that plays without Sage's Road Denizen in the main, where you're using the Modern Age and playing as like a control deck. I figured that Meeting of the Minds is an instant, so we can afford to play Counterspell again. We can hold it up on their turn. And Meeting of Minds itself is actually discounted by Sunscape Familiar. So with Sunscape Familiar in play, it only costs 2 and a blue, which means you can tap Sunscape Familiar and 2 other lands just to cast this. Which means that you can play Familiar, or you can go like Faithful into Familiar, play this for essentially 1 mana using these 2. The other thing you can do is Flicker, Archaeomancer, get back Meeting the Minds and cast it. You can Ephemerate Mancer. You can like cast Meeting of Minds using the Archaeomancer by tapping it, Ephemerate it, get it back, play it again, all in your opponent's end step, or add instant speed in response to something happening. Now, instead of playing the second Prismatic Strands, I decided to play the Echoing Truth here. For the mana base, I'm going to play, instead of my second Broker's Hideout, playing 1 Tranquil Cove. That supports Counterspell a little bit better. And it's sort of like going up a land because fetches thin the deck. So playing a Tranquil Cove is slightly more land drops, kind of, than 21 lands with 2 fetches. So that's what I'm doing there. Wanted to play 5 bounce spells because I've ran into walls lately. I wanted to have as much interaction with them as possible. And then I'm putting a Sage's Road Denizen over here in the sideboard in case we run into something where we are going to have timeout issues or we need to race. And then 1 more Prismatic Strands for burn, along with 4 Hydroblast. And then 2 Negates as our other counterspells. 3 Revoke Existence and 2 Dust to Dust specifically for when we run into Affinity, which we know we will eventually. And because that deck's not going away. Let's see, what else? I think that covers the deck. The other thing that people were talking about is using Seagate Oracle instead of the Modern Age. Seagate Oracle is a 1/3 for a 3 that does a Sleight of Hand. And it's obviously better synergy with Meeting of Minds because this creature comes out sooner. It's only like 1 turn sooner, really, than the Modern Age. So the Modern Age is going to be a creature on turn 4 if you cast on turn 2. And I think the Modern Age is better against things like Mono Blue Fairies. So since we're seeing a lot of Mono Blue Fairies and other flying decks in the metagame, I want to keep the Modern Age. It's possible that this is wrong and we need to play Seagate Oracle, but I'm still going to go with it and see what happens. If you are interested in checking out more about this deck, I have a primer on familiars on the Patreon, and when we solidify a Meeting of the Minds deck, I will have a sideboard guide for that as well. But there's a sideboard guide for a previous version of familiars. And hit me up with like and subscribe. We'll see you in the video, in the matches. Okay, we're in round 1, and we're on the play. Perfect. Just the way I drew it up. We have turn 2 Modern Age, and we have Preordain and Meeting of Minds. I'm going to keep this. Just run out the Broker's Hideout. Don't really want to play the Preordain on turn 1 because I need to set up my mana. Grabbing a Plains immediately. There we go. We get the Plains, and it's our opponent's turn. They're leading on a mountain, so can we survive against Burn? Hopefully. Echoing Truth is a good pickup. We're going to play the Modern Age. I think I'll probably get rid of the Preordain or the land. Let's see. I guess it's going to be the Snap. This is where Deep Analysis would have been better, to discard the Deep Analysis. Double Epicure. So we can fetch for an island and get rid of their blood tokens so that they can't use the Kuldotha this turn. That might be worth it. And a Snap. So let's get rid of the Preordain. Cycle for an island. Just take them off of blood tokens. The next turn we can hold up Snap and Meeting of Minds. Taking them off of blood tokens does 2 things. It uses, gets rid of the Kuldotha possibility. Well, now they have more lands, it's fine. It also would have taken them off of the potential for Galvanic Blast or Rift Bolt, so it's just burn. Okay. An island, play that. So they're probably going to bolt this, and then I will just respond by casting my draw two. Not looking very good here, but we'll see. Rift Bolt at the creature. Draw two. Okay, Godpharaoh's Faithful is good. That's really what we need against burn. We're kind of hoping that they would have played out at like a Thermo Alchemist that I could have snapped. We're at 10, soon to be at 6. I think we die to Fire Blast here. We go to 6. Chancery. Play Faithful. Play the Chancery out. We pick up the planes. Pass the turn. I want to use the snap during the attack phase so that the Swift Spear is smaller, or it goes away. Double Swift Spear, fun. Okay, we block a Swift Spear. So we're going to gain 2 life here. They're lightning bolting face. Snap the Swift Spear. This puts us to 3, 4, 5. Puts us to 1, 2, be at 3. Still just dead to Fire Blast, probably. Let's see if they Fire Blast the Faithful, though. Okay, they decided to Fire Blast face. Okay, I think that killed us, right? So Swift Spear is going to die. We go to 3. Oh, that's kind of nice for me, actually. So, no, that's not nice. Never mind. So how can we live? 3. We go to 3, 4, 5. Doesn't matter. All right, go to -1. Congratulations, opponent. You had the Fire Blast. Okay, we're going to bring in the Hydro Blasts, the Gates, Prismatic Strands, cutting the Echoing Truth, Ephemerate, cutting a Meeting, Arcane-Mancer. Usually, So I like, if we're looking, let's make this bigger. If we look at our deck, we've got a ton of counters. Cut a Familiar. Counterspell is probably the hardest one to cast. After that, Prohibit's the one that does the least, probably. So let's go from there. Meeting of the Minds was a bit slow. We have turn 2 Faithful plus Hydroblast, so it's obviously a keep. Land, get a Plains, Faithful, Hydroblast your thing. We can go Sunscape Familiar. The problem is that we are leaning on drawing off the top. Hopefully we have enough card draw left in the deck to do so. Grab a Plains and pass. Swift Spear. Classic. I just turn with Swift Spear no matter what. Okay. Got it. Pass the turn. I think I'm going to plan on blocking and then counterspelling whatever they use. Or just killing the Swift Spear. Opponent plays a land. Goes Chain Lightning the Swift Spear, the Faithful. Okay. I'll take it. Yeah, now we're going to counterspell that. So they just wasted 2 cards and did not accomplish anything. We still get hit for 3 but from the Swift Sphere, but that's fine. Fine indeed. Now we could play the Modern Age and hold up Ephemerate, block and Ephemerate my creature. It's probably worth it as opposed to playing on the Sunscape Familiar. Not sure. We could also play the Familiar out and then, yeah, well, let's go Familiar, get the cheapo Modern Age into play for just 1 mana. Go back to 18 life. Just putting things into play. We can ditch the Ash Barrens here. Probably should have ditched the Ephemerate. I'm so out of practice with Familiars, just playing Tron so much. But I think I'll block with the Familiar here. Lava Spike face. Okay. Block. Lightning Bolt face. Okay, Familiar dead. Now we get to discard the Prismatic Strands. Snap up. Play Faithful. Pass the turn. We'll just Strands on red. And that resolves, so now I can just pass. I don't think they're going to have a Flaring Pain right now. They scooped the Strands. They must not have seen it. Okay, let's try that again. Maybe we do need the card draw. Get rid of the Prohibit. with a snap. So snap's really only good versus... It's not that good versus Swiftspear. Okay, once again, we have Hydroblast plus Faithful. I guess we lead on land, so we can Hydroblast something, and then you can cycle, and then play Faithful into Preordain. Land Swiftspear. Okay, you know the deal, my man. Land Hydroblast. Bam. Pass the turn. Could be not a... Could be anybody else over there. Okay, they suspend a Rift Bolt. Tranquil Cove. Gain a life. So it's the same as like playing Faithful into the Rift Bolt. Faithful Muldrifter. Let's top both of these up, I think. Next turn we're going to hard cast the Prismatic Strands, and then cast both Faithfuls, getting an island out. And after that we can play the Muldrifter. We're going to take 3, going to 17. The only problem here is a Thermo. Okay, they 16 us. Needle Drop keeps the card in their hand. Surprised they're playing Needle Drop over something else. I guess, think about it. Okay, pass the turn. The new Reckless Impulse, Ren's Resolve, is not very good with Rift Bolt in mind. So I'm going to put this on a stack. We're just going to, Strands. So this is a counter spell. Flaring Pain? No, they're just going to pop off a few Lightning Bolts here. Strands on red. No Flaring Pain from the opponent. They go their main phase. Alright, Faithful. Faithful. And they scoop it up. Alright, good. Let's go to round 2. Okay, we're on the draw. I'm going to keep this. We turn 2 counterspell if we want to. I think we have to lead on Preordain, and it's a blue deck. It's a mono blue Fairies deck. So this is where TMA will shine if possible, if we can get it out. Unfortunately, what we're looking for now is a turn 2 Plains, so that we can get our Sunscape Familiar down, or like a Snap. So that's not going to give us a turn 2 Familiar, so we're going to bottom that, top the other Familiar, and then we are going to just be under the gun from the Fairies for a little bit here. No Ninja. Thanks, Fairy Seer. So Plains off the top would be perfect. Otherwise, we're going to play the Chancery out. Modern Age. Okay. I think I still have to play this. If we play the Modern Age right now, and not the Chancery, then we're looking at potentially getting blown out by a Spell Pierce. Let's see if they Ninja this time. No Ninja again. Alright, I'm going to play out a land and pass. They attack. Here's a Ninja, so I'm going to snap that so that they don't get to draw a card this turn. If they have the Spell Pierce now, that's okay. There's a Spell Pierce. Alright, pass the turn. Okay, so we can go Sunscape Familiar. Draw another snap, that'd be the nuts. I think now I'm gonna go probably need to go Familiar into Modern Age. Discard the counterspell. Counterspell seems like it's too much mana right now. Island, pass the turn. We're going to decline to block. Or we can block. If we block and they have Muta, we're not excited. They have a snap. Okay. Did not matter. Plays Fairy Seer. Okay. We started out a bit slow. So discarding Meeting of the Minds as a deep analysis here would have been a lot better so far. Counterspell, not very good against this early game deck. We can expect them to have a Spellstutter Sprite in hand, so we have to try to figure out what we want to do, what we want to throw away to the Spellstutter Sprite, basically. I guess keeping the Counterspell would have been good in that position. Getting rid of one Familiar. Okay, they don't have Spellstutter Sprite. He's got Miscreant, Miscreant. So now I can cycle for a Plains. I think I'm going to get rid of the Archaeomancer. It's very expensive. A land, Familiar, Faithful. Blocking the Ninja with the Faithful, and then I'm going to, well, cast a meeting. They have to respond to the meeting of the minds. They declined to attack with the ninja, so they don't have mutagenic in hand, and I was scared for no reason, basically. Are you going to do anything else? Just attack. They attack for 4. Okay. Draw 2. They can Spellstutter Sprite that, yep. Now they can Spellstutter Sprite my Moldrifter too, which is super scary. Alright. Good to go ahead and play a Faithful. If they have another Spellstutter Sprite, they probably want to counter this, and then I can land the Moldrifter. Okay, good. Well, not good, but I can get the Moldrifter out, which is the good part. Moldrifter in play. Okay, now we find Ephemerate and Echoing Truth. If they attack with everything, I'm blocking both the Spellstutters. Every time. Bam, bam. Thing is, they're going to get value off of the Fairy Miscreants, but we really need the Spellstutters off the battlefield, so we can resolve our spells, basically. Another Miscreant enters the battlefield, they draw a bunch of cards, play of one mind. So now I get to, I was going to say attack and then Ephemerate, but it looks like we're not going to be able to Ephemerate. We're at 4 life right now. But I feel okay. I feel like we're in a good spot. We can go up to 5 life with the Echoing Truth. Land. Play Sunscape. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ephemerate. Attempt to Ephemerate the Moldrifter. We can pay for Spell Pierce. It only loses a Spellstutter Sprite right now, or Counterspell. Counterspell. Okay. Let's pass the turn. Well, I probably should play around Spell Pierce, right? 3 cards in hand for the opponent. They're going to be able to hit me for 2 damage. We're blocking the Miscreants probably this turn. They're going to snap one of my creatures. Okay. Are you going to snap my Moldrifter too? They attack. Putting us to 3. We'll block. They ninja. That's going to do 4 damage. They have 3. Let's see. Let's bounce the ninjas. So if they want to use the ninja again, they have to the ninja now. They have to ninja again. But this allows us to live if they have an interactive spell. They decline to ninja. Okay. Plays Fairy Seer. Spire Golem. Scary. Okay, Modern Age. Bring us home. I probably should have just bounced the Fairy Seer. Okay, that's good. Sunscape Familiar. So now I can Ephemerate for the Meaning Minds. Ephemerate. Ephemerate the Archaeomancer. Get Meaning of Minds. And cast it for 0. That's nice. I'm still holding open mana for that Spell Pierce. They have 2 ninjas and an unknown in hand. Let's snap now. Now I can snap and replay the Moldrifter. I guess I could untap the plains in this land. I don't think we're going to need the plains though. What an Ephemerate do? If they have the Spell Pierce, I think I'm just going to untap the island and cast the Moldrifter this way, leaving up as much blue mana as possible. Okay, we're at 8. We're getting out of the range of the ninjas killing us. Find a preordained. So I'm just going to cast that. If they Spell Pierce, they Spell Pierce. We're at 9. There's the Spell Pierce, as I thought they had. Okay, that's the turn. So next turn we get the Ephemerate to resolve. Maybe. Our Modern Age is going to pitch the Tranquil Cove. They're attacking with everything. Alright, we're going to block the Fairy Seer. So this is 6 damage. They have 3 mana open. I'm glad that I played around with Spell Pierce the whole time, but maybe it was reckless just running that Preordain out. I would have been at 2 instead of at 3, and then I would have had a Preordain I could cast. But they're just going to run out their cards. Okay. They have only the Spire Golem to deal me damage. Well, I guess they have a bunch of stuff to deal me damage. Okay. Let's jam the Ephemerate on the Mancer. Get the Ephemerate back. We get the loot. We're going to get rid of Tranquil Cove. I guess first thing I'm going to do is attack. They don't want to waste it. Okay. Ephemerate. Let's undo. So we need to have 3 blockers. I can ephemerate for Meeting the Minds, or I can ephemerate for Snap. I think that's better. Let's just cast the Meeting the Minds right now. Draw 2. Another Mancer. Chancery. Pick up this. Archaeomancer. We're going to get the Snap. Snap the Muldrifter. Alright. Tap on tap. Go ahead and play it out. We're gaining life again. Alright, so here we can evoke this Drifter, and then do the fancy trick. Pay the Meeting of the Minds. Now we're doing it. Draw a bunch of cards. Okay, now I'm going to ephemerate the Archaeomancer for Snap. Snap this Drifter. I think we win the game now. Alright. Play Faithful. Faithful. Flicker these guys. And we're going to snap their cards. Alright, we gotta put the triggered abilities in the right spot. Okay, we get back to Flicker and the Snap. This is infinite snaps. So get rid of their flyer. Untap, untap. Flicker. So what you can do now is flicker for Meeting the Minds and use the 2 Archaeomancers to pay for it. But it's essentially the same as just flickering. Oops. I don't know why I did that. I guess we can evoke this. Let's cycle for an island as well. Snap it again. Doo-doo-doo. Just doing all the things. I got a little bit caught up in what I was doing there. And now I'm just going to cast the Muldrifter. So now we've gained a bajillion life with all of our Faithfuls. They don't have any attacks. And I'm just going to cast the Modern Age here since I have extra stuff to do. And I'm not really afraid of any of the things that are in their hand. Getting rid of a Chancery. You don't need extra Chanceries. We'll cycle this as well. And we definitely win there. Okay, let's go to game 2 after sideboarding. Prismatic Strands, I do like. Counterspell. We're just going to bring in the 2 negates. So Prismatic Strands is good against the ninjas, but it's kind of slow. And I just want to have more interaction on the stack. Counterspell specifically, I want it as a catch-all, so I could be able to deal with like Tron, the Mirror, and stuff like Colony Gardens decks where they're playing Crypt Rats and stuff, or the Initiative. So that's why I have that in the deck. Okay, this is a slow hand on the draw, but it is a keep because we have Faithful and Familiar for blocking. We have Snap as well. Kind of depends on what the opponent's going to do. Land Fairy. The best possible start for them. Fairy Seer is really, really good. They get to set up their second turn. Oh, we're just looking for them to go bottom and say that they missed their land drop. Alright, we find a Chancery, not the greatest second land. Pass a turn. Alright, if they have big ninja here, I think we are going to snap it on our turn, but they have little ninja. So we're okay. We're going to have to go Chancery, pick up the island, discard the Chancery. This one you can take a bunch of hits from, because looting is not as scary as them having an extra card in hand. Alright, pass the turn. It's possible we want to get rid of the island. Guess we'll do that. Having double Chancery for Snap is huge. Let's see if they have another ninja. They cast Of One Mind. So now, well, I was going to say we could cast our Godfarer's Faithful and snap their Spellslinger Sprite, but that is not correct. They discard a Snap. Okay, let's Broker's Hideout. Grabbing an island or a plains. Let's get a plains, then we can potentially cast Faithful plus Sunscape Familiar next turn. I was thinking that Meaning of Minds was a card that Mono Blue would also play. They cast Of One Mind. Nice to have a lot of thought casts. Gets in. They're gonna loot. Fairy Miscreant. Okay, so now we can resolve the Sunscape Familiar. Oh, okay, we're all good. Actually, we couldn't have resolved it there, huh? So, play Familiar. They're gonna go Counterspell, so we're going to snap the Miscreant. Untap, untap. Counter your counter. Play the Faithful. Now we can cast Meeting of Minds for 1 blue mana. I think I'm gonna, if I'm going to block the hacker, I think I'm gonna block with the familiar, so that we can gain our life back. We can expect them to have Muta probably. Double Muta would be a problem. They have Muta again. Okay, they only have 1 damage and no ninja. Plays a Miscreant. There's a Spire Golem. So I play the familiar, it gets countered. Then I play Medium Minds. Then what? They could still have Spell Pierce by Chancery, picking up the planes. Maybe they're flooded for blocking. Alright. Okay, let's go familiar. They seem to enjoy countering familiars, so just putting that into the battlefield. Alright, I play another one. Well, if I play another one, then meaning costs just 1 mana regardless, but I think we can pass. We're getting beat down in the air. I'm afraid of just casting the Meeting of the Minds and having it get countered. 4. I have nothing. 4 cards in hand for them. So it's effectively the same to just cast it now and cast it later, so I'm just going to cast it now. So this gives us another turn. Plays around Spell Pierce, and they did not have it. Let's Archaeomancer to try to get back to Meeting of the Minds. They didn't have anything previously. Now I can cast this for basically free. 0 mana Meeting of the Minds. That's nice. Draw 2, leaving up mana. Okay, we have Familiar and Negate. Cast the Modern Age. I'm really looking for, blue spells, blue sources. So if I don't find something to do here, okay, they have a Spell Setter Sprite now. Alright. Play out the Familiar. Chancery, picking up the island. Pass the turn. Bummer. Of 1 mind, they're going to attack for 5. They ninja their Spell Setter, so we need like a Muldrifter off the top, or another Meeting of the Minds, I guess. We don't find it. We only drew 2 draw spells in 20 cards. It's weird. So maybe Counterspell is better than Negate, just for countering the Spell Setters, or get rid of the Echoing Truth. Just a ridiculous amount of counterspells. Dragon. Okay. Mulligan. If this were an island, would be okay. Alright, this seems better. I will put back the Barons. Just lead on a Preordain. Our opponent also mulligans to 6. We're looking for the Familiar. Found it. So turn 2 Familiar, turn 3 Mancer, get back Preordain. Plays a Relic. I guess we're not getting back to Preordain. Honestly, Relic is not the worst, and I'm kind of happy that they have that early instead of Ninja. They could snap here into a counterspell. Alright, so what do we do? I guess we pass. They make a land drop and pass. So we can attempt to cast a Muldrifter. They have to have counterspell in hand. Or we can just pass. We made our land drop. And they don't make their land drop. So now we have a Prohibit. Okay, play the Faithful. So they have to have Spell Setter here. We're going to counter Spell Setter. So the Faithful is going to resolve. We can Preordain. We're going to get rid of both of these cards with their Relic. We are looking for a Meeting of the Minds, I think. Although, once again, Spell Pierce is a problem. Let's see. Let's bottom top. Play the land. Pass the turn. Okay, goodbye, Preordain. You will be missed. Snap. They're going to pay a full price of 1 mind. Spire Golem, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cast Muldrifter. So that's going to draw 2. We can use one of the cards for the Modern Age. Let's Preordain first. Okay, so we'll go top, a land, Cast the Modern Age. So I'm going to start putting excess stuff into the graveyard now, binning this Ash Barrens. Pass a turn. So the other thing you could do is you could bin the island, and then next turn you could fetch with the Ash Barrens, and then also bin. So it'd be 2 cards in the graveyard for the relic, which I've done sometimes, but I decided not to here. And we're going to go get rid of this Ash Barrens. Next turn we're going to play the Archaeomancer for the Preordain. See if they have a ninja. They do. Okay, so they're at 7 cards in hand. They're still missing their land drops. I'm going to draw and discard. Discard this. Play the Archaeomancer for the Preordain. Let's see if they want to crack the relic for the Preordain. Looks like no. Cast Preordain. We can pay for the Spell Pierce. Faithful Mire. So I don't think I want either of these right now. Okay, I do want the Ephemerate. We're going to attack with the Muldrifter and then Ephemerate it. We can pay for a Dispel. We can counter Dispel with Negate, or we can Spell Pierce here. I think that's going to win us the game. So if I go Modern Age, they have a Spell Pierce, then I have to cast the Negate. I think I'm going to pass. Block with the Faithful. Then get rid of a land. Sure. Plays the Spire Golem. So we can block the Spire Golem with the Modern Age this turn. Question is, do we try to force the Relic, or do we Ephemerate the Muldrifter? I think I'm going to try to force the Relic. They could have a Spellsetter Sprite here, and then they're banking on me not having a way to get my Ephemerate back. Looks like they're just going to crack the Relic. What? Okay, fine. Play Chancery, pick up the island. We're going to play the Modern Age. We get to discard the island. I don't think that letting me have the Ephemerate back was the correct play. Counterspell. Okay. Oops, I should have negated that. Whatever. Ephemerate. Pass the turn. They must not have had Spell Pierce. Or Spell Stutter Sprite. They relic the Modern Age. Okay. Let's see if they'll just let me have my Ephemerate back again. Yep. Spire Golem again. Spire Golem again. We're gonna try to Ephemerate for the Ephemerate. And then if they crack the Relic, we can get the other Ephemerate back with our other Ephemerate. Playing around Relic. Do you want to crack? Apparently not. Ephemerate Muldrifter. Continues to resolve. Okay. So confused. Play Cast Medium Minds. Draw some cards. Now we find our other Archaeomancer. Play Chancery. Now I'm going to play the Familiar into the Mancer for the Meeting of the Minds. Counter. So let's see. Archaeomancer. Get back to Negate. Can't crack the Relic. I can snap something. Can snap my Muldrifter. Let's snap our own Muldrifter here. I don't think like trying to snap the Spire Golem is going to matter that much. And then we can cast the Muldrifter. Do I want to just Drifter Ephemerate? Sure. Drifter Ephemerate. Getting that snapback is probably not worth having 4 cards in hand. Okay, Ephemerate. Now we have a 0 mana Meeting of Minds. Alright. For this and this and this. We have plenty of cards in the graveyard. We're just lucky that our opponent's not really using the Relic, I guess. They're going to Relic my Plains away. We get to end step and Meeting of the Minds. Busted. Okay, they're now going to crack the Relic. Okay. I think we just win. They have a good Air Force, but eventually we will as well. Alright. On to round 3. Okay. We're on the draw. We have a Familiar and a Preordain, which is a super sketchy keep, and I'm going to keep it for science. They tend to play things that are slow, but the last time I saw them, they're on burn. Obscura probably means Familiars. Yes. Okay, we're going to go land pass. And then I'm going to cycle for a plains and play out my familiar. Alright, so it depends on what they're playing, but we don't currently have the Mill Wincon in our deck, which can make this a little bit harder. We have to counterspell lock them with Ephemerates. They snap my familiar. Sure. No familiar for them. Okay. We're just going to preordain. Finding another preordain in Ash Barrens. Let's just play the Chancery. Well, we can preordain again. Let's do that. Okay, Muldrifter prohibit. Next turn we can resolve the familiar. Our opponent's missing land drops. Familiar. Okay. They don't do anything. I really thought they would have had a counterspell there. We have a counterspell for their familiar. And set Meeting the Minds. Okay. So they were going to do something. Cycles. They're going to grab an island. And these plains? Is it plains? Okay. Weird. I'm just going to jam Muldrifter. Don't think they have a counterspell for that. They could have loose focus here. They're just going to cast another Meeting the Minds. Okay. Well, I'm the one with a familiar on a board, so that's good. I'm going to discard my plains. Could have discarded the Faithful. Probably should have discarded the Faithful here. Although the Faithful will give me... So they go familiar, familiar. Let's see. Chancery. Okay, pick up this. Snap. Tap on tap. So a Faithful in play will give me another card for Meeting the Minds. So it's probably worth playing. Mancer. And they scoop. Too strong. Alright. Snap-a-doo. So we're just going to bring in all of our counters and our Sage Row. Unfortunately, the rest of it's not very good. I think I would rather have more Faithfuls to cast the Meeting of the Minds than have more Evoke Existences, so I will keep it this way. We have 2 Negate, 2 Prohibit, and a Counterspell. And the rest is just all the interaction we have. Obviously, none... Because there's so many... because we have to do so many sideboard cards for Affinity and Burn, it makes the rest of it kind of suck. Okay, so we have turn 1 Preordain, potentially Faithful. Turn 3 we can evoke a Muldrifter. I think I need to mulligan. This is a lot worse, but I guess it's keepable. We're going to get rid of the Muldrifter, just the most expensive card in the hand, and we're hoping to use our Preordains to find... Wow, they mulligan to 5. To find some lands and familiars. Island go. Turn 1 Preordain. Okay, a couple islands. Let's just top both. Then I'm going to play out the Modern Age, I think. Modern Age as well. Go to 4 in hand, discarding an Archaeomancer. Okay, Modern Age. We'll discard... Discard 1 Snap. Snap is like one of your best cards in the mirrors because it can take away the familiar for a turn, but I think we need to just find cards. They have Seagate Oracle, which means that they can cast a Meeting of the Minds off this land, these mana. Okay, discard plains, or island, preordain. Bottom, top the familiar, island pass. Okay, so they can cast Meeting of the Minds for 2 now. Neither of us are doing very hot. They have a Chancery. I'm going to cast the Meeting of the Minds to draw 2. Okay. Ephemerate. So we are also going to cast Meeting of the Minds. Play land. That's the turn. Just have no white mana. That is a big problem. They cast Muldrifter. Yep, I'm going to attack for 3. Okay. I'm casting it this way so that I could potentially use my 2 mana here. Let's discard a Faithful. We're getting kind of wrecked. Take 5. Bam. 3 mana. They play the Sage Row Denizen. And what? They flicker, so we're going to mill 4. They get to draw 3 cards. Double Archaeomancer and a white source. There we go. So now I'm going to oh, another white source. Okay, don't think we're losing the combat damage. Get rid of this. land, play a familiar, draw, snap this. Let's go Drifter Ephemerate. Alright, we're back in the game. Pass the turn. We've drawn 10 more cards than them. Or seen 10 more cards. I guess we haven't drawn 10 more cards. They play the Sage Row. They're going to maybe snap something. They're going to flicker again. They snap my Mole Drifter. That's weird. Oh, I guess they didn't want me to resolve the Ephemerate. Preordained. Okay. If we untap with the negate, we're going to be doing very well. Another snap, it looks like. No. Okay, they flicker. We're going to mill 4. Let's see what happens. Chancery and Ash Baron's Arcane. That's a third Arcane answer, so we have to find our Mortuary Mire or we're dead. Basically. I'm going to cast Meeting of the Minds. You go to 10 cards in hand? Why? Okay. We did not draw extra cards, huh? We just continued to, I've realized that now. There's the Mortuary Mire. Perfect. So we'll get rid of the Preordain. Discard another familiar. Discard this land. We get to put this into play. Play the familiar. Mire. Get back Archaeomancer. Yes. Evoke the Mole Drifter. Snap the Mole Drifter. Just pick up these two. Okay. Play Archaeomancer. Get back Ephemerate. So do we have any flickers in the yard? No. So I'm going to do Ephemerate for snap. Snap off their Sage Row. And then cast my own Sage Row. Pass the turn. We have 1 negate. They cast a Modern Age. Okay. So we're just trying to pinch them on blue mana as much as possible, basically. They discarded Plains. Okay. 2 mana. They have so many cards in hand. They must have flooded really hard. That's why they cast the, Oh, they scooped it up. Cool. Let's see what we would have drawn. We're getting closer. Flicker is just way down. Way down. I guess they didn't want to play against our double familiars in play. Let's go to round 4. Round 4 versus Burrioso, who has been on familiars in the past. And I'm going to mulligan this. We don't have any action. To mulligan this as well. This is so bad. Okay, keep. Get rid of snap and a meeting. Well, let's get rid of this and snap. And just hope they're on a slow deck. Pass the turn. Mulligan to 5 is not where you want to be. Our best draw would be Chancery. We need Chancery specifically, basically. Okay, they are on familiars. So let's see if we can win again. Probably not on a Mola 5. Preordain. Bottom these. We whiff on lands. Alright, I'm gonna just concede, I think. Unfortunate. Alright, same sideboard plan. Let's go to game 2. On the play again. Can't keep that. Mulligan. Okay, well, we have a turn 1 familiar. I'll keep this and get rid of the Faithful. I mean, not turn 1 familiar. We have familiar in our opener, which is what we're looking for, but we also need card draw, please. Alright. We don't get to ask the shuffler for anything. Basically, we are taking a risk of playing off the top deck because we're going to be playing out the familiar. Familiar. They could have a snap here, but I think it's important to get the familiar out pre the prohibit. They're going to cycle for a plains. They play the plains. Okay, let's play the Modern Age. What do we draw? An island. Okay, I'm going to discard the island, play out the other island, and pass the turn. Snap is not looking that important right now. Do you want to keep the negate up? Like they're going to snap my familiar. We're just going to counter it. Pass the turn. We'll discard this snap. Lay out another Modern Age. Probably have to discard whatever's on the top. Discard the Mole Drifter, Mortuary Mire it back. Yep. Pass the turn. Now we have Prohibit for their familiar. Or I guess for a negate. Or snap. 2 counter. They're going to negate in response. Alright. So now we are going to draw and discard this Chancery. Slam a familiar. I'm gonna pass the turn. I don't think playing out the Ash Barrens is useful. They play Arcanemancer for the snap. Snap my familiar. Play out a Muldrifter. Okay, so that was just like a tempo snap. You can play out the familiar. Attack. 3. They snap my familiar again. Okay. I mean, the Prohibit can't get kicked right now anyway. It's really annoying. They grab Negate. Play Seagate Oracle. Just gonna pass. Guess I can't just F6 here. They might have a rate. So we're dead to Flickerlock. Cove. We know they have Negate in hand. Play out our own familiar again. They have Negate. So we will attack for 4. They're sitting at 2 in hand. I have the Faithful in hand. See if they have the Mortuary Mire. They do have the Mortuary Mire. That's nice. Man, what a bummer for me. Muldrifter again. Preordain. So we really need some good cards here. Ephemerate, maybe? Or Flicker? Flicker would allow me to get back the Sunscape Familiar. Okay. Slam a Muldrifter. Okay, Arcanemancer. So let's go Chancery. Pick up this. Play Faithful. Attack, attack, attack. Gonna go to 10. There's a Seagate Oracle. Another one. Some good cantripping there. 3 mana available. Play Modern Age. So I think they have not updated their deck for the Meeting of the Minds yet. We'll see. They discard an island. For 2 mana, they have a snap here, I'm hosed. They last breath my Vector Glider, okay. So they don't want to get attacked. They're down to 1 card in hand. Let's Arcanemancer for Prohibit, I guess. Maybe a Negate would have been better. Mortuary Mire back to Familiar. And swing. Yeah, Negate would have been better because we could have countered a Flicker. Vokes Muldrifter. If they have a Flicker here, I'm going to be extremely sad. I just made the wrong decisions. Gosh, okay. On to round 5. Uh-oh, we're up against the Shuffler. They've been my major opponent. Shuffler. Okay, Mulligan. The Shuffler is continuing to host me. Oh no. Alright, I'm gonna just keep this. Even though it's so sketchy. I'm on the draw. Put back the Modern Age. Le Shuffler. Okay. Okay, Brokers for Plains. And then we can cycle for an island and play the Preordain. Then we're looking to go Familiar into Modern Age. We negated their 1 damage from their Epicure with our Brokers. They play a Swift Spear as you're wont to do. Bash in. Yeah. Okay. We play Goblin Blast Runner. Cycle for an island. Play the island. We're looking for our Prismatic Strands. Or snaps and islands. Okay, find some islands. Tap, tap. We're going to go keep the land drops. I'm going to swing for 5 right now with the Blast Runner, sacrificing a permanent where they just sacrifice their blood token. Attack for 5. Bam. We're at 13. This is hard. Another Blast Runner. They have 1 card in hand. Play Familiar. Play Modern Age. Familiar dies. Okay. We're going to discard 1 Meeting of Minds. I'll discard the Ash Barrens, whatever. Opponent is just slamming in for 5. Bam. Looking for that Prismatic Strands. Okay, get to draw a card. Okay, we're going to discard Meeting, play Island, play Faithful, Pass the turn. We can counter something, or we can just cast end step medium mines. We're going to counter that. Yep. Counter. Pass the turn. Block a Swift Spear. Yep. We're at 4. And we draw land, so now we just cast Muldrifter and hope. And we're looking to fade a top deck, basically. Pass the turn. Snap Preordain. So we're dead to basically anything other than a land. Not dead to Kuldotha Rebirth. No, are we? 3. Block. Yes, we are dead to Kuldotha Rebirth. Okay. Never didn't have it. 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. GG Shuffler. Coming at me real hard. Bring in the Hydroblasts. Get rid of this. 1 Mancer. So what else can we get rid of? Let's get rid of 1 Ephemerate. Submit. Just want max interaction, I guess. Maybe Meeting the Minds is sketchy in this matchup. I definitely would have preferred having C8 Oracle in this position than the Modern Age here. So we'll definitely have to run another test where we're bringing in maybe C8 Oracle instead of the Modern Age. Maybe cutting on Prismatic Strands. You could also go like 6 cantrips, 4 Seagate Oracle, 3 Meeting the Minds. That might be interesting. We would like to play first. Yes, thank you. No possible play. And we would also like to mulligan. Come on. Fine. This is not good, but we have stuff to do, and I'm afraid of mulliganing more. That is the rub. I'm afraid of mulliganing more. Take it in. Bam. We're at 20 again. Slam a Muldrifter? I mean, Familiar in play? That is not a Muldrifter. Not in any way, shape, or form. They kill my Familiar. He is dead. Or whatever it is dead. They have a land. An implement. We're gonna get bashed for 3. Fair cards are fair. Let's see. We have a Muldrifter. So we can snap this right now. I think I just play the Chancery and then trying to fade a Raise. But we can snap the... Next turn we can snap and play the Muldrifter. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay, they crack the Implement. We go to 16. Plays a land. 2 mana. Bushwhacker. So they're going to attack for 4. Not the scariest of plays. Well, what do we draw? Snap. We'll snap this. Get our Muldrifter into play. And pass. We have a Familiar now. Familiar Preordained Snap. Certainly going to block the Bushwhacker. Alright. Block. They go Fire Blast face. Play Familiar. Play Preordain. Faithful and a Snap. I don't want the Snap now. Faithful I like. So I have 2 blockers. And I'm looking for any card draw. They Reckless Impulse. I can just block. Another Fire Blast. Not very good for them. That is reckless of them to play more Fire Blasts. They Kuldotha Rebirth. Okay. Sure. Yeah, I'm just gonna block here. Block and block. If they Fire Blast face, I'll just snap the Swifty. They do Fire Blast. They go face. The Swift Spear goes back to hand. And I pass the turn. It was a very weird use of all their lands, but we could still die to land Bolt. Alright, land. Pass the turn. The planes I'm going to keep in hand. They have a land. Another Swift Spear. Here I'm going to just block and take the 3. Hoping that I can draw into card draw spell. We're at 2 now. We have a Hydroblast. Alright, let's kill the Swift Spear. Well, okay, let's see what happens. So, we can block Swift Spear and Bushwhacker and snap a token, and that puts us to 1. They play Implement. Okay. Snap this token. tap. Block, block. Go to 1. Or we could, well, just block here, and then Hydroblast the Swiftspear. Bam. Puts us to 3 now. We're dead to a Bolt, but I think we're dead to a Bolt regardless. Man. Pick up the Tranquil Cove. Pass the turn. Really just not having anything happen here. So they put us to 2, and then all they need is 1 burn spell. We block, go to 1. Pretty much anything in their deck kills us. We drew 2 draw spells and 17 cards. They have the Lightning Bolt. What a terrible end to our league. Started out so strong. Okay, so let's look at the deck. I think it is possible that we don't want to be playing the Modern Age here with the Meeting of Minds. We're trying to lean on Meeting of the Minds, although Modern Age was what single-handedly won the match against Mono Blue. Let's look at this. So maybe one of these down, one of these down. Then we cut the counterspell, bring in the Sage Row, cutting the Echoing Truth to the sideboard. Maybe this is where you want to be, just like 3/3/3. And but we do need a second flicker now if we do it that way. So then what happens? We have to think this one through for sure. Maybe we can just like cut the strands. I don't know. You do have a lot of card velocity otherwise, but I think we need to figure out how we can make this happen. So the other option is to get rid of the Modern Ages completely and add this and add this. But then like Prismatic Strands is not like that good in the main deck. We bring the Echoing Truth back over here. We just have a full-on flicker nonsense. Let's try that, and I will record a video with this one coming up in the next time. We'll see you. Have a good one.